Welcome to 42nd Street, Times Square.
I will be dedicating this show to my father, LEKULE, who passed away November 15th, 2013. To you, with love. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing and sharing with you everything as it relates to my father, LEKULE, from Tanzania, Africa. I've never had the opportunity to meet him. However, through social media, I've been graced with speaking to him only once, as well as seeing his present-day pictures, which is one that I first got on December 2nd, 2012. And on that same day, I performed underground. And I'm wearing the sweater that he loaned my mother before I was born, and it's the only thing I have of his. Get right, George, and let's go. Not the evening train, the evening train, said the evening train, my day down late. I received a call today, this morning, that my biological father passed away like 2.5 weeks ago. Story behind my father is my father's from Tanzania, Africa. Thus the name LEKULE. I learned at the age about 8 or 9 that the truth about my father. And from that moment on, I had this deep knowing inside that because my father was from Tanzania, Africa, and he came to America and met my mother, that I was destined for greatness. I always had this feeling from a very young age, and I felt that, be it that this was my true reality, this is the core of my creation, it governed my life. You can only make live on no one meal. Then when step, wait a minute, words will make you fall. And you're dripping on the mud. Listen when step, wait, step, words will make you fall. And you're tripping on too much. When you come from, boy, when you come from, boy. I didn't see a picture of my father until I was approximately 23, 24. At that point, I couldn't get any information on him. There was no census in Africa, so I went to his old college, which was Marquette University. He was a star just fell. So I went to Marquette University, which is the university he went to. He was a foreign exchange student, and looked in their yearbooks, because at that time they took yearbook pictures. So I went and I searched, and there he was. I think what precipitated that search is because when I finally went to get my birth certificate, his name wasn't on the birth certificate. And I remember being so completely devastated. Like I was nobody. Like I was finally going to see a real name attached, something attached to who created me. And when I got the birth certificate, his name wasn't there. So when I finally saw the pictures in the yearbook, it was honestly like I was staring at myself. It wasn't until like May of 2007 that I got an inbox message on my MySpace stating that they believed that I was their relative and they knew my father, so on and so forth. I thought it was a joke. I finally spoke with this guy on the phone. And I spoke to my father. I captured the first time I spoke to him, how I celebrated at Maggie Brown's.
You're recording.
Hey, what's happening? It's LEKULE Day here in Brooklyn, NYC. Why? Because I just met my father and what spoke to me. Never spoke to him before I say in my life. And how fascinating is that? And I'll be feeling for us to have a LEKULE drink. Yeah, cheers, fam. You know, it's not really a LEKULE. LEKULE is Jack Daniels and ginger beer. This is a substitute, but it's all the same. Cheers.
Cheers.
When I told my mother that I spoke to him, I mean, she literally wept on the phone, just wept her heart out. It was a cry I had never heard before, but she told me she was so happy for me. She was so happy. I could tell that was a prayer of hers. And I was happy. I was like so excited about the possibility of seeing him, finally meeting him. But I remember in that conversation, I mentioned his address, but I didn't get his address. But I thought I was going to talk to him again. I even wrote him a letter. I sent him an email, and every time I called, I could never get through. Never get through. I would buy these calling cards and I would go on my deck, and I said it along this time because I would be so nervous because I didn't know what I was going to say or what he was going to say. So I would sit down, I press all the numbers, I call, and the phone would ring and 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 then die.
Hey, I called you this morning. The phone kept ringing. So here I'm holding until the last breath is on this stand. I don't care. Damn, I'm praying just to hear your voice. It's all I got left. Hello, mama.
That was really difficult. Because I kept wondering, is this a joke? What is this? Why is it every time I call him, I cannot get through and I just kind of give up? My mother kept telling me that, I should reach out to him. You should call your father. You should call your father. But the disappointment of not reaching him, it became so frustrating, so overwhelming that I had to stop calling. I really wish I met my father, but the great thing is I now know when I look in the mirror who I'm looking at. And I'd like to say this to you, Dad. I don't understand everything. Why I was created. And how all those years when I was so young, I used to dream that I would meet you. And something in my heart never quite let go of the reality of that. And I'm grateful that I did have the time to have that conversation with you, no matter how small. It did make me feel like a whole person to even have your number in my phone. And although the calls never went through, I hope you know that I was always sending my love, and I have no ill will. I pray your soul rest in peace. And if this is you, the star that fell, thank you for being here. I ask you to watch over me. Tell my mother I said hello.
I would like to say cheers and love and respect to my father, LEKULE. I never met you, but I see you in my face. I love you. Thank you for giving me life. May your soul rest in peace, and may we all rest in power when our time comes. Is ready?
Yeah, let it go. It's burning.
Okay, okay. Let it go.
That was fun.
Δεν λίγο κατέβασε το.
Rest in peace, Dad. I'll always love you, because you are me.